This episode of KV Plays Keys is brought to you by...
There was an old farmer who lived by a rock. He sat in the meadow, was shaking his fist at some boys who were down by the creek. Their feet in the water, their hands on their marbles and playthings, and in days of yore, there came a young lady. She looked like a pretty young creature. She sat on the grass. She pulled up her dresses and showed us her ruffles and laces and white fluffy duck wax. She said she was learning a new way to bring up her children and learn them to knit, while the boys in the barnyard were shoveling refuse and litter from yesterday's hunt, while the girl in the meadow was rubbing her eyes at the bellows, as girls sometimes do, to make it quite clear that she wanted to go for a nice pleasant stroll on the grass, then hurry back home for a nice piece of ice cream and cake that stood 3 layers tall. And after dessert she was ready to go for another walk down by the dock with any young man with a sizable roll of 100s and a big bulge up front. If he'd ask politely, she'd show him her little pet dog who was subject to fits, and maybe she'd let him grab hold of her small tender hands with a movement so quick. Then she'd bend on over and suck on his soda so sweetly till she finished it, then pull down her panties to rub on her hip that she bruised when she ran down the halls, 'cause he tried to force her to lick on his candy so tasty made of butterscotch, and then he spread whipped cream all over her cookies that she had been baking all night. If you think this is dirty, you're fucking well right.
In the last video, I showed a number of plugins in their standalone versions. What I did not show is why you may have difficulty using them in performances. The Music Lab guitars do not include any MIDI channel designation, so they respond to every channel. So if I have an electric guitar and an acoustic guitar up at the same time, they will both play. Omnisphere is an 8-part multi-timbral synth with individual MIDI channel assignments, but no utility to map single or multi-timbral patches to MIDI patch change numbers. In other words, how do I change from a mixed choir patch to a sawtooth synth without using the mouse? The same can be said for contact. The Rolling Cloud synths, with one exception, are not multi-timbral and may respond to standard MIDI patch changes up to the max for that synth's storage. But like the Music Lab guitars, they respond to all MIDI channels. What to do, what to do. When I first started using plugins, I ran them through my digital audio workstation software, Digital Performer. This kind of software is often referred to as a D.A.W. or DAW. It was a simple setup. My keyboard can choose between 16 MIDI channels, so I set a different plugin on each MIDI channel in my DAW. It looked something like this. The DAW solved the MIDI channel issue, but not the patch change problem. And what happens when I need to use the organ on channel 3 in a layer an octave higher? The solution was MainStage. This product is now owned by Apple and only works on Apple computers. But for Windows users, check out Ableton Live, Gig Performer, Cantable, and Camelot. The key is finding the features that will work for you. Each MainStage patch can be set up to any MIDI patch change number. This can also be set individually in the G6 Performance. I call up the Performance on the G6, it calls the corresponding patch in MainStage. That gives me the best of both worlds. I can have all-purpose MainStage patches like soft strings be usable by multiple performances on the G6 just like I did with my DAW. But I can also create MainStage patches tailor-made for specific songs. I have 5 virtual keyboards as a base setup in MainStage. One set to respond to all 16 MIDI channels, and one each on channels 5, 9, 13, and 16. This provides flexibility when needed, like for balancing volume or switching sounds. In Chapter 7, I outline the 7 parts of a performance: naming, transposition, envelope offsets, controller assignments, layers and splits, switching and fading, and external device control. In one way or another, MainStage provides them all. It can play back audio on cue. And each MainStage patch has a mixer section for effects and signal processing. That's it in a nutshell. Once I got the hang of how everything worked, it worked flawlessly. But getting each function to work can be a bit of a challenge to set up properly. Thankfully, We have YouTube to help find the answers. Next time, I'll get into the benefits of part switching and the lost art of zone programming.
Outside is the place I want to be, but it's too cold. Snow on the ground.